Hello, hello, it's Fisher Price 1. Fisher Price 1. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? This is Snufkin and this is Moomin. I wish I looked like Moomin, but I look more like Snufkin, but doesn't matter. Would you guess that I made this hat? Yes, if you guessed that I made this hat, then you would be right. So in the last video I talked about what did I talk about? I talked about multi-samples, but here is another thing where we can use multi-samples very nicely. So there is almost like untapped potential in these machines, and that's kits. And it's not kids, but kits. Kit like a drum kit. Just to explain, can I see the display actually? This display is so tiny. These are even worse. Huh? Okay. No, that's not the machine I wanted to show you. I think this would be it. Drum kits. Finally I'm getting somewhere. Load. So the way most of the kits work in many other machines is you have a one wave file split into pieces, chopped. This is not how it's done on Teenage Engineering, and it's a real pity. In EP, you load each sample separately into a pad. In some way, that's quite a waste. Imagine if we can have a kit, and imagine that we actually can. I don't think I need glasses anymore for this one. It doesn't even have a display. So in order to create a kit, we can reuse the multi-sample engine. So instead of loading each sample to a pad, we can load a multi-sample into one single pad. And I have already that prepared here. And then, just by pressing the key, we have a kit, and yet we have still all the other pads free to use. Normally you would have 3 by 4, 12 different samples. But now, if we create a kit, we can expand this. So here is a drum kit. On next pad could be a different drum kit. On the next pad I can have a hats, and I'm still on the same group, so I'm already using much more samples. You can see how this opens the whole new area. What are the limitations? Well, first of all, as I discovered pretty quickly when I started messing with it, there is a hard limit for 8 slices. Multi-sample instrument cannot have more than 8 slices, otherwise your favorite EP-40 will crash. It's nothing serious, just switch it off and on, but yeah, doesn't like it. So we can have only 8 slices per pad. This is still quite good. Squeezing 8 instruments into one pad is already great. There is also other limitation, of course, and that's polyphony. Well, there is none. So basically every pad can have only one polyphony. Either one or the other one, but they don't play together. We have to work with these limitations. It would be nice if Teenage Engineering actually gave me some ideas about the limitations and stuff, but I had to discover all these by myself, by basically trial and error. So I'm going to show you how it is done with my new software, which it's almost ready. working with this reminds me working with pocket operators, which this one is in some way a pocket operator. What I created here are a couple of drum kits which are kind of like themed. So one drum kit is just kicks, another would be snares, another would be hi-hats. This way I can have 3 pads, one each has 8 different sounds. 3 by 8 is 16, 24. So I'm already loading 24 sounds in these 3, and I have 3 notes polyphony. So we can manage quite a few sounds with just 3 pads now. I just don't know why everything is so wonky here. Okay, as a first example, let's borrow some kit from Lo-Fi, And now just drag it in. Boom. That's the WAV file with drum hits. And this is pretty much how most of the groove boxes create drum kits, because it's very convenient. In order to have it usable on Riddim, we need to slice it, and it could be done manually, right? Just by pressing split at cursor. And now we have 2 regions. We can have another regions here, or we can actually use a auto chop, which is, I think, a region in percussive mode. I just chop it, see, and it tells me that I have maximum of 8 regions, but there are more regions found. This one is wrong, right? This is just 1 region, so delete this region. That's 1, another one, and this one starts late. I can actually move this here and delete this part from the file, and I can delete the wave data and put this one. So and then I will just delete the rest here. I'm pressing Ctrl, creating like a loop region, and then just deleting the wave data. So right now I have my 7 regions. Sorry, I can have 8 regions, so I can have 1 more. Okay, so I will split the guy here. Let's see, split at here and start at the beginning, and then I will delete all the other wave data. So I have 8 regions now. And it's almost done, except we have to check the mapping, the key mapping for the EP. And normally drum kits would be mapped from C2, because we are going to use it on EP. We want to map it from something which is, you know, in the range of C4. I could just write the root notes whatever I want, or I can use a fancy function which is distribute notes, and here I can decide if I want to distribute the notes chromatically, which means on every single semitone, or in a major scale or minor scale. Usually the best is just to do it in the C major scale and from the start note of A3. If we have a EP set in chromatic scale, then this is C4, this one is B, this is A sharp, and this is A3. Right? So starting note from A3 would work nicely. If we have it in major scale, then this is C4, this is B, and this is A3. So, you know, it works for both. Let's go with A3 and using major scale. And it will distribute the notes, as you can see here, from the A3 upwards in a major scale. And let's upload it then. Okay, dismiss. Let's clean up some stuff. Alright, let's actually save it first. That would be good. Now let's upload it to 546. Now let's try it. So we're going from A3. That's the 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all these will be stretched. Now we could be a little bit clever about this. For example, if we have toms, we can stretch the toms. Do I have any drum which has a tom? Yeah, or this thing. Alright, so I'm just going to copy into clipboard and let's just quickly paste it here and delete this one. Now let's distribute the notes on the major scale and see this purple is my tom, and since I have 12 notes here, I'm starting from A3. I still have at least 2-3 notes. I can just push it in the middle instead of having pitched cymbal. I made it this way so you can extend it by just clicking Ctrl and drag it. We can extend it for 3 notes on the major scale. 1, 2, 3 here, right? So let's save that thing. Now here is the thing which we might encounter, and it drove me crazy. And like I would be dragging a kit or a loop or multi-sample, and it will not appear as a multi-sample on the Riddim. But let me just see. So this is 5, 4, 7. So we are going from A3. And we pitched 3 of those toms. This one is pitch down kick, pitch up kick, alright, so that works pretty well. I'll show you what happens sometimes when you're like uploading one multi-sample after another. Suddenly the other multi-sample will not become a multi-sample, just a normal sample. I'm going to drag this one. 5, 4, 9. Let's drag this one to 550. And see, it is now just a normal sample. And it drove me crazy. And you know why it drove me crazy? Because of this. One file, another file, and look, no difference. They are binary identical. But this one has loops, this one doesn't. And it drove me crazy. And I had no idea why. But it seems to be not the Riddim itself, it seems to be the software, the EP sample tool, which for some reason will mess things up. I don't know if it is the naming or cache or something. It took me hours. Literally, I would have a file and it would not appear as a kit or a multi-sample, and I would be like, why? What happened? And what happened is this. If I press F5 to reload the software, let's go to leads. Now, it is still not multi-sample. It is loaded as a sample into it, but I will just kill it. I will drag the same file, exactly same file, there. And both of them are now kits multi-samples. So it's definitely the software which kind of freaks out about something, I don't know. It's not the Riddim. So it uploads the sample to Riddim wrongly. But I don't know why, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, if this happens, this is the easy way out, just F5 reload. That's our first sample, and now you can create your own by just simply recording some drum machine. And also, it doesn't have to be drum sample, right? It could be just shouts or whatever you want to have in a kit. But remember, only 8 of them. And of course, it all has to fit into 20 seconds, or as I showed in the last video, 40 seconds if we do the double speed trick. And of course, you can also do some house cleaning, like the end, it's just completely useless there, so I would just delete those data. Same thing, same part here. Yeah, because today's samplers, they have a lot of memory, so it really doesn't matter if you cut, 100K out of the WAV file, but it does matter for us because we have only 128 megabytes in Riddim, so, every single piece helps if you just get rid of it. Boom. And stuff like the typical, it should start at the beginning. Now let me just show you something really, really cool. Look at this. I can click import and I can import either from folders, but I can import machine group. This is so simple because I know you are so lazy like me. Like this. Boom. It tells me that unfortunately machine has much more groups, much more slices than allowed, but doesn't matter. It will import all of them. And here you go, without work. And you can just pick whatever you want, delete the stuff you don't. I don't know what is this one, delete that. And just make it only 8. So what is 8? 8 is here. Like these two are quite identical. I can kill that one. Okay, delete this part. So we have here to the end, delete wave data. I can probably delete the rest here. And here we are. Now from the machine, it starts from C2. So that's not really good. We will distribute it the same way we did it before from A3. And that's basically it. That's what you have. Let's save it. But that's not all. I can import from sample track because I have the sample track. So I can directly import kit from sample track. It's actually a good idea because on sample track I can very easily create those kits. I can import from sample track or from Akai, and that's another of those. So the whole Akai group without much sweat, it's fantastic. And if you think that's all, that's not, I will show you something which for the future videos, but you would be delighted. That's what I added today. I have this export and look at this. I put the whole little drum machine where the sounds you loaded here, in this case the Akai sample, I can also load MPC pattern, which are sort of like a MIDI files, and I can also load MIDI files, but let's see. I'm loading this pattern and then I can just render it. And there you go. And you get perfect loop because there is also wrapping. Like the tail wrapping is wrapped at the beginning. So yeah, it's really good. And you can create your loop in any tempo and save it as a WAV file. And the same way you can load a MIDI file, and you can remap it. Like in this case, the MIDI file is just used for something else. So this D2 is probably a hat. Yeah, let's use that one. So I can actually remap it. I will show quickly. So I will say D2 remap to, what was it? F sharp 2. And now we're in there. And that's it. So this is very convenient how to create a small loops. And it's actually pretty fun because you can load a weird kit and then load completely unrelated MIDI file and you get such a crazy stuff. These things. So let's use that and you get a complete mess. Actually, it's not complete mess. So I mean, I will probably make a video about looping and creating loops which are loopable later, but this is a great way how to make ones. Okay, should we go with this? I guess it's stupid. So let's drag it 549. Let's see. Okay, so 549. This one is empty, so I'll put it 549. And that's the loop. Okay, so this one is annoying. Let's make another one. Yeah, let's put it to 550. So it's 550. So the BPM is set to 90, and let's go to tempo. And it doesn't matter how long you have the pattern. In my case, I have only 1 bar and the loop is 4 bars, but the loop will loop for 4 bars and then repeat. So it's kind of like independent of the pattern. anyone there.